to that country. The point was that the students would get a very decent flavor of what the country was doing. Now, I didn't know what to do because this was a top institute and I knew I would be competing with people from all across the globe. But I said, okay, let's keep your head together and let's see what the university is known for. So I started off with some research and I found that the founder of that university really focused on rigorous analysis and actionable knowledge. So I went online, I said, okay, if I were to do this the best way possible, how would I go about it? And I would like to share what I did with you. So I started off browsing the university's website and I took some of their career reports and I broke my analysis down into 4 parts. I started off with analyzing with where these MBA students, these students that go to this university intern after their first year in college, and where they eventually go out to do their full-time position. So that's what I did, 1. Number 2, I tried to analyze the kind of functions and industries that they work in, because if I am to design a course for these students in a different country on a different topic that they don't know about, I might as well make sure that I'm tailoring the course according to what they're looking for. And number 3, I looked at the kind of opportunities that were available within the same university to help the students go to that particular country, because we had to also arrange for the logistics. And lastly, of course, the salary aspect and the geographical preference of these students, because 13% of the students of that class had went abroad after their MBA. So I did a lot of analysis, and something that was very interesting came out, that a lot of these institutions, the MBAs of these institutions, they were interning in a social impact organization, but once they graduated, they moved towards technology, they moved towards startup. And I thought, okay, if I was to differentiate myself, I could go out on that podium and say that I want to recommend that these people come to Pakistan, because Pakistan is a country that I'm familiar with. And guess what? The 4 students that I had with me on test day, on the day, they recommended their own country, but I chose something different. Now, why did I do that? What if I tell you that there's a country out there in the world, it's not a big country, it's a very small country. It's always facing problems like Pakistan is, but it's being dubbed as the next Silicon Valley of the world. Think about it, a very small country, South Korea and Silicon Valley. Not even the next 5 years, the next 2-3 years, Silicon Valley, the progress that they've made is remarkable. Let me take you back to 2012. When they were plagued with unemployment, 30.4% of the youth was unemployed. And that was a big challenge for a country that was built by startups. A country built by startups. Now, with startups, Samsung and Hyundai, I'm sure we're all aware of Samsung and Hyundai, but they're plagued with their own issues. You have unemployment, you have problems facing the economy, you have the government that's not really supporting entrepreneurship. So what did they do, and what did they do that we could learn from? President Park came in. She said, I promise to you, ladies and gentlemen, I promise to you that our country won't be plagued by the issues that North Korea imposes on us, but we'll make our own economy, a creative economy that focuses not on land, not on minerals, but our people. I'm going to invest in my people, and building on that commitment, she invested $3.4 billion in a space of 3 years, not on human capability development, but on entrepreneurship. How often do you hear a government taking steps to foster entrepreneurship in the country? They made 20 incubators for people who might not be aware of. They're basically created to help startups. They get the mentoring, they get the guidance. 20 startups, and today South Korea has 16,000 startups. 15 years ago, they had 2,000 startups only. Today, the economy has the highest credit card penetration in the world, the 4th highest mobile penetration in the world. South Korea is emerging. And the reason I chose South Korea was because you don't see that often. You see the government supporting the entrepreneurs, and not even the government, not only the government in fact, but Samsung itself opened 4 incubators for these entrepreneurs. So that's absolutely massive. Where do you see an economy where all these different stakeholders come together and focus on one particular goal, that we want to foster an economy? But why did I choose this for my MBA discussion, and why would I force people to go there? Because like any other economy, South Korea is facing its own issues. Death by overworking. That's a concept in South Korea. People there work so hard, or at least they're made to work so hard, that the foreigners aren't coming in. Now, if I'm an MBA graduate, I'm thinking, okay, how do I want to shape the world? Or in fact, how is the world going to change over the next 5 or 10 years? And what will my role be in that particular world? I want to see that South Korea, with all its opportunities and its challenges, how does it move from where it is, point A, where it wants to go, point B, and the only thing in between is tons of work and direction. So as an MBA candidate, I felt that it would be absolutely vital for these MBA students to go out, experience firsthand, day one, spend with the startups, spend with these entrepreneurs and understand the challenges that they're facing. Day two, they talk to the government. They speak with the government of the challenges that the people are facing, and day three, they meet the alumni of the same institute and reflect on their findings. So this was my proposal for that institute. I'm still waiting for a reply, to be honest. I hope it works out. So again, just to wrap up my speech, South Korea is pretty much similar to Pakistan in terms of geographical space. If South Korea can do it, I don't see any reason why Pakistan shouldn't be able to do it. It was just an MBA assignment that led me to understand that South Korea is an economy that's going to be on the front in a couple of years. And honestly, I tell you, if South Korea can do it, we can do it. Over to you.